Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing another crafter square kit that I got from the Dollar Tree, doing the mouse for lefties. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, if you have this kit intact, this kit includes the plastic needle, yarn, stuffing, crocheted hook, plastic beads, and instruction sheet. I have already made this mouse, so I do not have everything that is here. I will be replacing the yarn, I will be using my own stuffing, and I don't use the plastic beads because it is a choking hazard. So let's get right into this instruction sheet. So I believe this may have been one of the worst instructions that we had here. So we're going to try to work through this. It has steps 1 through 6, and it does come with step-by-steps on the back so that you can learn how to start each of these little rings. But I'm going to walk through it with you so that if you're having a hard time reading the instructions, hopefully you won't. Now, if you want to speed up or slow down the video at any point in time, click on the gear button on the top corner of your screen, I believe. And when you click on it, there's a speed playback option. You can slow it down or speed it up, however many times it lets you. But let's get started with this. So for the first body part here, we have to crochet the legs. We link 2 legs together and we keep crocheting into step 3, the body. This is completely not right because step 3 is the crocheted head. The crocheted body is step 2, and you can tell because they call out their rounds 1, 2, 3. And if you continue with the crochet body, it's 4, 5, 6 through 8, and so on. If you did step 3, the body, which is the crocheted head, you have 1, 2, 3, and then this one, it already starts at 14. So that can't be right. Okay, so let's hopefully try doing this and not having a hard time like we did the first video. Guys, this is my second time doing this, so bear with me. Hopefully it's clearer than the first. If you are a more visual person and you don't need to hear me talk, you could always lower the volume. I will be doing closed captioning, so you could always turn that on as well if you just would rather not hear my crackly voice at the evening hour, which is now. Alright, so let's start this off here. To start off, every magic loop that, like I said, would show in the back here. So what we're going to do is take this yarn and we're going to wrap this around your finger twice. Just to let you guys know that this kit has a white mouse. I'm doing a brown mouse. So I'm going to do a brown mouse, and instead of a pink shirt, I'm going to do this nice pretty plum color shirt, and hopefully it'll look all right. So we have our yarn wrapped over twice. You have this little excess piece here so that you can pinch it down with your middle finger, and then you're going to stick this hook underneath all those 3 pieces, and we're going to pull it back and slip that 3rd piece under the 2 loops. So just do that. And now that we have that done, we have this loop here. You need to close off the magic loop, so we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull that through the loop. So feel free to rewind and play back if you need to. Okay, so now we have our magic loop. I'm going to gather up some yarn here, and for our first round it's telling us that we have to do 6 single crochet stitches. So before we can do that, we have to create the height of the round. So we're just going to yarn over and we're going to chain 1 like that. So now next we can do our 6 single crochet stitches. So just to show you where that's at, it's on the bottom of this instruction sheet, single crochet stitch. what we just did, chain 1. That's the stitch that we just did. But I'm going to show you how to do it. So stick your hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. Let me do that again one more time for you guys. Stick the hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. We just have to do 4 more, you guys. Okay, so now that we have our 6 stitches, what we have to do is close this magic loop, and to do that we're going to pull this end piece here. But you see how we have these two? We have a front loop and we have a back loop. So we're going to pull this and we're going to see which loop goes in first. So hold the stitches down on this end and start gently pulling this end piece here. And we see that the back loop is moving. So we have to get this one to disappear. If you just try pulling all of it all at once, you might not get a nice perfect circle. It might bunch up on you. So what we're going to do is that back loop, this side here, we're going to pull out so that this inside goes in. So do that now. And you see how that front loop is slowly pulling into itself. That magic loophole is getting smaller. Just try to keep pulling that till it disappears. You might have to move the stitches around. Once you cannot pull anymore, then you can pull this end piece so that back loop can disappear as well. And that's why they call it a magic loop. So what once was a huge hole is now no hole. But what we've got to do now is we've got to close up this round. And to do that, you're going to count 6 inches from the hook. 6 stitches, not inches. 6 stitches from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to place that hook into the 6th stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull through all loops to create a slip stitch. And so now you have a completed round. And now we can start on round 2. So for round 2, we have to increase by 2 stitches. So looking by the pictures that they have here, so an increasing stitch on the top of this page has a little X with a down arrow. So what you want to do is look at the round, and it already shows an X with a down arrow, so that's an increasing stitch. We have 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and then we have an increasing stitch, and then 1, 2 single crochet stitches. Okay, so to start off every round with these single crochet stitches, you have to chain 1. So yarn over and chain 1. Now we're going to do our increasing stitch. Let me show you guys how to do that. It kind of shows you in the pictures here, but I'm going to walk you through it right now. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. To do an increasing stitch, you have to put the hook into that same stitch that you used, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So the idea is for each of these 6 stitches you have from the last round, for this first one, you're doing 2 single crochet stitches. And as we saw in their instructions, the next 2 now are going to be single crochet stitches. No increase. So in the next stitch, put your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And as indicated in the instructions, the next one is going to be an increasing stitch. So again, you guys, in this stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet stitches to do an increasing stitch. So stick your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then stick it back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay. So now we have to do 2 more single crochet stitches. 1 and 2. And now we have completed round 2. So what we're going to do again, you guys, we have to do a slip stitch. So what we're going to do is we have to count back 8 stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stick your hook into the 8th stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, and we completed round 2. Now you guys, I did forget to mention this, but we have this needle here. What I want you to do is find a different color yarn. In some cases, it's going to be the pink yarn that the kit gave you, because that's the only other choice. If you do have other colored yarn, you can use that color, anything different, so that you won't confuse yourself. Because sometimes, like, even the stitches, they blend so well with some of the colors that it's hard to see what's what. So I like using a different color yarn. I'm going to stick this through the last stitch we made. We did that slip stitch. So I'm going to stick it into the last stitch we made. I'm going to hold on to one end and pull the other all the way out. Like that. And you're going to mark off the last stitch that you did on the last row. That way, if you ever get lost, which does happen, this will help you find your way. And I will show you after we complete the next round. So for round 3, we have 8 single crochet stitches, which is fairly simple. It's just 8 single crochet stitches. So we're going to chain 1 like we do for every row to get the height, and then we're going to go to the next stitch. We're going to do a single crochet stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we're just going to do this 7 more times. And remember, you guys, you could always speed up or slow down the video, or mute it and have closed captioning. And then because this is the last, oh wait, yeah, this is the last stitch, remove it. And then we're going to do our last stitch. Okay. So now we're going to count back 8 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that marker there was able to let us know which stitch was going to be the last one, so that we can always count back if we ever lose our place. So you see how the circle is now caving in on itself. This is the pretty side that's caving in. If you flip it over with the little tail at the end here, it's not this so much pretty space or face. You're going to want to flip it out. Flip it inside out. Get that pretty side to show. Stick this excess piece in there. And then here you have your finished leg with a pretty side, because each row is defined. That's how you can tell which side is the right side. So this is where the fun begins. Crochet legs link two legs. So we're going to do these two separate. Now we're going to give some excess, right? Now the instructions on the back here say to do 5 inches. When you reach the last stitch on the last row, cut off the yarn with about 5 inches to spare. Now, some of these kits do not come with enough yarn. Let's just say this now. I'm using my own yarn, so I'm going to cut as much as I can remember I need, but I could be completely wrong. But yes, not every kit comes with enough yarn, so just be mindful of that. Now for this row 15, all it's telling you is to yarn over and to pull it all the way through and tighten it up, and that's called fastening off. So we finished our first leg. Now I normally do 2 legs, like the second body part off camera, but I'm going to be doing it with you guys today. What you're going to want to do, we're going to do this all over again, so you'll have the joy of watching me do this magic loop again, in case you missed it. So wrap the yarn twice over your finger, leave a little bit so that your middle finger can hold it down. Then we're going to grab the needle or the hook, put it under all 3 pieces, and then we're going to drag it back, but we're going to drag this third piece under these 2. So drag it under. Okay. Now that we have that, we have to close the magic loop. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull a chain through that loop. And now that we have it closed off, we can pull this off your finger. So let me just grab some yarn here, you guys. And then we're going to start round 1. Round 1, we have to do 6 single crochet stitches. Like we do with every round, you have to chain 1 for the height. And you guys, let's do 6 single crochet stitches. Okay, so we have 6 stitches on here now. We've got to close this magic loop. So we're going to start pulling this end piece, and we're going to watch to see which loop goes in first. So this loop here just went in. If you missed it, I'll pull it again. There. Now what you want to do is on this end, we've got to pull it out so that this one that didn't move starts moving. So pull this one out until you see that front one pull in, and keep pulling. You see it's following it in that hole now, and the hole's closing up. So once you can't pull anymore, then you can pull this excess piece till the other loop goes away, and that's why they call it a magic loop. Both loops are gone. Hole is now gone. We're going to count back 6 stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So from the hook, count 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, these are so blending, I can't even see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick it in the 6th stitch, and then we're gonna slip stitch it, and then you're gonna grab your needle with a different color yarn, thread it through, and then we're going to mark the last stitch we made. Okay. And then we can start on round 2. So we're increasing by 2 stitches. So chain 1 like we always do. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. So in the next stitch, do 2 single crochet stitches. There's 1 into the same stitch. Here's 2. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Then for this next stitch, we're going to be doing the increasing stitch. So 2 single crochet stitches. 1 into the same stitch. 2. And then for the last 2, we're going to do single crochet stitches. 1, and then remove the marker. 2. So now we're going to count back 8 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stick your hook into the 8th stitch there. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we're going to mark this off with the yarn. And then for the last round, we have to do 8 single crochet stitches, which is fairly simple and straightforward. So let's do 8 single crochet stitches. Before we do that, chain 1 for the height and do 8 single crochet stitches. Last one. Okay. So let's count back 8 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, like I said, for the last one, you just have to flip it inside out so the prettier side shows outside. Now here's where the fun begins, because it's said to link the two legs together. How it tells you to link it, it doesn't. So, and now that I think about it, we probably didn't need this. Ugh. Okay. So we're going to go into step 2, the body, because the body is right here. Okay, it's so crazy. Keep crocheting into step 4, the head. Step 4 is the arms. You see that? You see this? This is the lack of care in these instructions. So the head is actually number 3. But yeah, again, you can tell because it's round 1, round 2, round 3. Usually in these instructions, they stop and that's it. But they want you to build into the body, so it continues 4, 5, 6, and so on. So for round 4, we have 16 plus 2 stitches. 16 makes sense because we have 2 legs and they are both 8 stitches. And then we're just going to increase it by 2. So let's see where they have you do that. And look how microscopic these instructions are. So this is going to be fantabulous. Because I can't even see the down arrow. Oh my goodness gracious. I actually think I found it. Alright, so the first one is an increasing stitch. If you have these instructions, comment below or click the like if you're right there with me. So I don't see any likes happening at the moment. Okay, round 4. First stitch is an increasing stitch. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochet stitches. And then we have an increasing stitch. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let the games begin. Alright, so we know that we don't need this. We're going to tuck this into here. Because normally they have you sew on these pieces together, but they want to get all fancy and complicated on you guys. So tuck that excess in. Sorry if I had you waste 5 inches. But that's actually what Crafter Square did. They didn't care. They definitely didn't quality control any of these instructions. Okay. So I'm just gathering up some yarn, trying to prep my life right now. Alright. I feel like either way you're going to get lost. So, could you put a marker? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we put a marker? Alright, let's just put a marker for the sake of entertainment. In case we do get lost. I'm going to mark it. Yikes. Okay, I'm going to mark off where we left our last stitch here. So the first one that we're doing, we got to chain 1 obviously, so chain 1 for the height. Okay. Now the first one we're doing is an increasing stitch. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then last marker 7. Then we're going to take our other leg, and you're just going to find a stitch. We're going to do an increasing stitch. So I stuck it in there. Let's do an increasing stitch. 1, 2, and then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is supposed to be linked now. Yikes. So what we're going to do is we're going to count back 18 stitches. And then we're going to do a slip stitch. Sorry, pause there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Stick it into the 18th stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, and we're going to mark it because now we'll need it. Now that hopefully the madness is over, let's get back to normal and mark it. Okay, and it's this one here. Okay, yay. All right, so now for the 5th row, we have 18 stitches plus 2 more, so we're increasing by 2. So let's look at the round. 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches, increasing stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochet stitches, increasing stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches. Okay, grabbing some yarn. So we're going to chain 1 for height. Then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. One, 2, 3. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, 2 into the same stitch. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So tiny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochet stitches. Be careful with that other yarn. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then we're going to do an increasing stitch. One, 2. Then we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Remove the marker. 4. Okay. So now I'm going to count back 20 and we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Just double check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. And then we're going to mark off the last stitch. Okay, let's gather up some yarn. I hate having to keep grabbing yarn, so my finger's always covered in yarn. Okay, let's chain 1 to get the height, and now let's do 20 single crochet stitches for round 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try counting to myself because actually you don't really need to count because you always count back to double check anyway before we do a slip stitch. Remove the marker, last one. Then we're going to count back 20 and do a slip stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, that was a sloppy count, just to make sure, but I think it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep. Count twice, stitch once. It's a shop class reference. Okay. Slip stitch, and then we're gonna mark it off. And that was round 6. 2 more of these 20 single crochet stitches. The hard part about that is just keeping track of the row that you're on. So definitely not a time to get distracted. If you're worried about that, you can put more than one marker on each row so you can count it. Okay, so when we do the 7th round, so you always have to keep track of not only the row number but also the color changing. So we have 6, 7, which is what we're on now, and we're going to switch to a different color at 8. So you guys got the pink, I've got the plum. I'm going to show you how to do that. So for the 7th row, let's do our 19 stitch. Don't finish it, because I'm going to show you how to change the color. So we chain 1, and let's do 19, but I think we're good with the 20. We'll just see. So this time I do have to make sure I count right, but it's actually the one before here, so maybe you don't have to count. So just don't do the last stitch. Okay, before we finish the last stitch, like I said, I want you to pull out this hook, get some slack here so you don't lose that loop. We're going to remove the hook, remove the yarn off your fingers. We're going to set this aside. Right, so now I'm going to need the other color. So in your case, it's going to be the pink, and in mine it's going to be this plum color. I'm calling it a plum. I don't even know if it's a plum, but anyway. So I'm going to show you how I switch colors. There's many ways to do it. This is just how I do it. And I'm going to teach you also how to start a chain, which is this stitch here. So what you're going to do is take your ring finger and pinky and thumb and just hold that end down. Then we're going to take our middle and index finger and we're going to hold it somewhat a distance away. Then I'm going to grab my hook, I'm going to cross it perpendicularly, and then I'm going to go down, out, and around to make a little loop around my hook. So just put your middle finger on the hook to just pin that loop down. You don't want to lose it because I want to grab some yarn here. And now I'm going to pinch this end and don't lose it. You want to slide the hook down close to that end. And so in order to yarn over and chain, we're going to pinch both this yarn and the end piece. So we have a loop that does not move. We're pinching it down. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull that through the loop like that. So now hold the knot, pinch that end, do not lose it. We're going to push this knot close to that end, and as we're doing this, we're going to try to tighten that knot. So keep pushing down and keep tightening it until you can't anymore. Okay, and once you hit that stopping point, then you can pull the end. Not too tight, but enough to keep the knot in place. And I'm just going to grab the knot with my fingers here and slide it up the hook. But not too much, you want some slack here. We're going to slip this off. Try not to lose this now. Just place it down here. Then I'm going to grab my little pants guy. Tighten up the yarn on the hook. We're going to remove the marker. Okay, so now what we're going to do is last stitch. Put the hook into the stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and then there are ways that you can go about this. So we can slip the color already and pull the loop, or we can do it when we do a slip stitch. So let me try doing it when we do a slip stitch. Maybe that will look cleaner. It all depends on how it looks to you. So let's yarn over, pull through those loops. Let's count 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Stick your hook into the 20th stitch. Now let this go, this one here. We're going to slip on your pink, in my case my plum, and gather up some yarn here. Alright, so we're going to slip this through all the loops like that, and we are not going to be using, in your case, the white anymore. So we're just going to snip this off. It doesn't have to be 5 inches, just long enough, because I'm going to show you what I do to make sure this sucker doesn't unravel at any point. Just tie it 2 times around your pink yarn, in my case the plum, like this. Not too tight, just secure. And then you can tuck this into the body. And now we have our smooth transition to your pink. And we're gonna mark the last stitch. Okay. Then we're going to chain 1 for height, and then we're going to do our 8th row of 20 single crochet stitches. Move the marker, last stitch. Then we're going to count back 20 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Then you want to do a slip. Okay. So now we can do round 9, which is 20 stitches minus 2, and that's going to be 18 stitches and 2 decreasing stitches. Let's find out where they want us to decrease. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's chain 1, and then we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do a decreasing stitch, which is the X and an up arrow instead of a down arrow. So what you do is basically returning 2 stitches into 1. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on here. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So you see what we did there? We took 2 stitches and made it into 1. So after that, we have to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches, 8 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, 8. Then we do a decreasing stitch. 1, into the next stitch. 2. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches, and then we have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. Move the marker. 4. Okay. So now we're going to count back 18 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to mark this off. And then we can do round 10, which is basically 18 single crochet stitches. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to grab myself some yarn. don't know how much yarn I got here. We're going to chain 1 to get the height, and we're going to do 18 single crochet stitches. Pull out the marker, and we're going to count back 18 and do a slip stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. Then we're going to do a slip stitch. Oh no. So now we're doing row 11. And it's 18 stitches minus 3. So let's find out where they want us to decrease. So first one is a decreasing stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches. Let me get some yarn here. Okay, so we're going to do a chain 1 to get the height, and then we're going to do our decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 3 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I totally forgot what I just said. So 4 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have our decreasing stitch. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have our decreasing stitch. Okay. Wow. Then we have our 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, remove the marker, 4. So now we're going to count back 15 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I'm going to mark it. Yikes. Oh wow. Huh. Screwed that up. Alright. Alright, so we're going to end up with 6. So we're going to do round 12 where we have to decrease 3 times. Putting stuffing through a 6 stitch hole is going to be a nightmare, you guys. And I think if what I remember, it says crochet to the head, like keep crocheting into step 4 the head, which is really step 3 the head. So we're gonna have to, like, I don't know if you remember seeing in the last video that when I was doing this, I had to put stuffing all the way top to the head and get it all the way down here. So you can take this opportunity to take some stuffing and put it in here. Just be mindful that the stuffing isn't always enough, and that's why this is kind of absurd. But so what I'm going to do is I am going to stuff the body parts now because I actually have my own stuffing. If you run out, I guess you could always pause this video and go out and buy stuffing. But I'm just going to put this in each of the legs. And I think if you just buy your own stuffing too, you can put as much as you want, because some people like their dolls to be firm. Some don't. So I have this much so far. Oh my gosh, look at this gap. Look how that lovely link went. I can fix this. I'll fix it right now. If you have this gap, let me know, because this is how we're going to fix it. I'm just going to sew it together. And since this is on here already, I'm going to use it as a marker. But what I'm going to do is, I need this hook. Pull out some of that yarn. And what I'm going to do is stick the needle, the hook into some of these spaces here. I'm going to try to grab these two ends, and I'm going to try to tuck it into the body like that. Okay. So now I can go back, put the hook back, tighten it up, and we're going to continue on to the 12th row, which is the 15 stitches minus 3. So we're going to end up with 12. And let's see. What they want us to do is, right off the bat, in a decreasing stitch. And then, let's grab my needle here. 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch, 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let me just gather up some yarn here. Okay. And we're going to chain 1 for the height. And then we're going to do our decreasing stitch. Okay. Then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. Oops. Okay. Then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. 1, 2. And then the last are going to be the single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Remove the marker. 3. Then we're going to count to 12 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then since I already have it ready to go, just mark off the row, and we're going to do one more row, row 13. 12 stitches minus 6, so we're going to end up with 6. So each stitch we're doing a decreasing stitch. Let's chain 1 for the height and decreasing stitch all the way around. Okay, I want to remove the marker. And the last 2 stitches are going to be the decreasing stitch, 2. Now I'm gonna count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you see what I was saying, how tiny that hole is. So imagine trying to put stuffing into this, and they actually have you build the head, so you gotta put it into 2 cavities. That has a little block bottleneck there. So you guys, I think we're gonna stop here. I am going to mark our last row so that we know where we left off. This video is already long, but I'm telling you, this is a lot faster than I did the first time around. So when we come back, we finished round 13. We're going into round 14. So we're not done with this yet. And wow, it has us switching back to white. So I actually should show you how to, we're just gonna undo the slip to switch to the white. So look out for the part 2. It's time for me to go to bed. I hope this video is helpful. This is the most complicated one, I think, out of the mix, because it has you linking body parts together. It has you creating this hourglass shape with the head and the body, and then you have to stuff it. It's just insane, on top of switching colors. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again in the part 2. Thanks. Bye.